the Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, Grosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and Maniacs. The nightly podcasts are Hallis Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skull Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports. Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Truth Sports Podcast, Off the Rails, NFC Northeast, Power Hours, and Detroit Lions News. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hope you like all the shows.
Good afternoon. It is Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B. We got Buddy Conquito. And Yoli Cruz. How's everybody doing today? It's another great day to be a Lions fan. 100%. That is a fact. So, what 6 guys out of the preseason do you see making this squad? Because he said that there's only like 5 or 6 guys. I kind of want to make a bold claim myself. I think it's Isaiah Williams. I think it's Ukwu, Betts. I think DPJ stays on the roster, guys. And I'm going to tell you why. He does one thing better than everybody else in the wide receiver room, not named Waymo and St. Brown, and that's run block. He also does punt returns. He does have a punt return touchdown in his career. And I think because of that special teams value is what's going to keep DPJ on the roster. I don't think that's why you haven't seen him much in these preseason games. And he also knows he shows out with Goff and kind of flounders with everybody else. Is that because Goff was starting to build a chemistry with them last season? I mean, we saw it start to develop towards the end of the season. DPJ was starting to make some clutch catches. Daniel Hardy is leading all defensive ends in sacks preseason, JB. That's fine. It's preseason. It's versus second and third stringers for the most part. You know, I don't get people putting a lot of stock into preseason stats. Daniel Hardy's not a Lion. I'm talking about the Lions. Glad he's doing well for himself. He probably made his roster. I'm trying to get more in depth on the Lions. But it is Fuck Your Feelings Friday, and I have a few memes to show. Imagine being the team that gave this guy more than Pat Mahomes for as often as he's been on the field. And then I don't know what's more offensive on the 3 things they ask about this Jets fan. And this just in, Joaquin Phoenix revealed how he studied to be psychotic to play the Joker. I got to clear the caption so you can read the bottom of it. And Uncle Rico has been named the starter of the Oakland Raiders. And last but not least, just for you, Yoli, I had to find a Packers one. Those are my memes of the week. We all joke around and say stuff, but it was funny to see that one showing the Packers and the Pampers. Oh, I like being funny. It's all about having fun. But who do you guys got it? I think I named four of those guys that are on. What's up, JB? I am doing great. Little sore. Think I might have tore my labrum in my left shoulder, but I'll live. I can't lift my arm past here without getting pain and inflammation. So it is what it is. So what has everybody got planned for the weekend? I know I plan on watching Lions while I'm working tomorrow. What are your guys' plans for the weekend? I would watch college football, but the Lions are on. If the Lions are on a Saturday, it trumps college football for me. And I'm just seeing see who shine. Um, Dan Campbell basically said that Hooker is starting tomorrow, and that'll be good to see. I want to see him against the better competition of a second string. And is everybody already Lions out today? Happy Friday, JB. One more day closer to the regular season. That's right. We are 2 weeks from today from seeing the Packers take on the Beagles in Sao Paulo, Brazil, where they can't wear their green. And it has nothing to do with gang members. It has to do with the rabid soccer fan base hating the color green because of a rival soccer fan base, and they literally shoot at people wearing green because they hate that team so much. Not gangbangers. I find it comical when people say it's gangbangers. But Roger Goodell should have did some research. I think it's stupid that he picked two teams that are predominantly green for the two teams to play there. I think that Roger Goodell dropped the ball on that one. But you get to go to Brazil. Everybody was sure that the Lions were getting the Germany game this year. Thank God that didn't happen. It's great to have world exposure, but the travel time is a burden on the team. Cut day is next Tuesday. That's right. But I do and I don't. I don't because they don't get enough game reps in. I don't like the joint practices because we see a lot of fights in them, and that cuts down on the reps that they get to do. If it was just where they ran like a game situation with the actual NFL refs in attendance and stuff like that, I think it would be better. Yeah, Brazil isn't the nicest place near. I know. Packers had joint practice and it went very well with 0 fights. That's great. I'm just saying there's a lot of fights across the league. It wasn't just the Lions that had fights. There was a lot of teams that had fights this offseason with the whole situation. Getting frustrated. Good for the Packers. No toughness. That's what I like to see. No fight. Yep. Let's hope the security is very good in Brazil. I think they're going to force them to wear the old pay throwbacks that don't have any green in them whatsoever. Myself. Afternoon, Mr. Leonard. We're just sitting here doing the usual, bagging the Packers. I didn't see Leonard's comment. Did he comment? Nope, but it says he's watching. Ah, gotcha. Oh, there he is. I just didn't see you, buddy. There's my co-host and Giants fan extraordinaire. He either wants to win the division or lose out. He doesn't want any in between. I'm rooting for the Giants to succeed as long as they don't play the Lions. Simply for you, Leonard. Having a shit day. All my fucks are gone already. I don't have care left. Oh, that's funny. Oh, replying to Ricky Sakat. No, he wants us to root for them to go 0-17. He wants to be the first team to do it. Packies are wearing their home green jersey in Brazil. I think it's a mistake. Just my personal opinion. Is it possible the Lions go 17-0? I think 17-0 is such a lofty goal for any fan to think is possible for any team. Um, I don't see it. I just don't see it. But when it comes to playing in the preseason, the Chiefs do the same thing every year. JB tuning in on the freeway, driving to New York for a vacation. Go Lions from New York, baby. All right. That's awesome. Thank you. I got a few good hats. Stay safe in New York, RxJ. Great city to visit, but be careful of crime. Yeah, 100%. That's the same can be said with any big city, though. That's all you got to do is pay attention to what's around you. The smart man is the observant man. Oh, pardon me. Do you think the branch will be an all pro this year? He has the potential to be an all pro. 100%. I can see that. He was one of the best safeties in the game at Alabama at starting at strong safety. So I'm glad we're putting him in his natural position. What's up, Patty Grimes? Good to see you. How are things in Grand Blanc? I know everybody says it Grand Blanc, but I like doing the French pronunciation. Grand Blanc. Craig Reynolds is fine. It was just a stinger. I said that last time you asked it. I agree, Brent DeWitt. He's just one of them dogs. Philly got Dotson. What are your thoughts? I think that makes them a very strong contender. 100%. I think they're a very strong contender to be something great. Uh, you got AJ Brown, you got Devonta Smith, and now you got that. That's a nice nucleus of wide receivers to have as your top three. Washington, it could be they're ramping up to make a trade. Think about who's still holding out, who doesn't have the money to pay them. It could be Brandon Ayuk. Because they get Ayuk, then Jaden Daniels has weapons. I don't know why they didn't learn from the CJ Moore thing. You don't. It is nice, David Barnett. You're 100%. It's great that SI put us on the cover as saying we were the Super Bowl favorites in their eyes. But at the same time, it scares the shit out of me too. I don't like being on the cover of anything saying anything as grandiose as that. I'm not saying we can't. We know we're Super Bowl contenders according to everything we've read and saw and all of that. But at the same time, it scares me like a jinx. King SJ in the chat. Good to see you, brother. It's been a minute. Eagles have been great at grabbing talent. They just don't seem to be able to get the chemistry thing right. They if they ever gel, they could be a little bit jet threat for the NFC crown. I agree. I agree with that take. The boys just got to stay focused, keep up the work ethic like they have, and go from there. Absolutely. It's all about it takes more. That's what Dan Campbell said. They got to the penultimate game and they fell on their face in the second half. We were a half away from the Super Bowl, guys. Technically one quarter. That third quarter, there was so many things that went wrong. It could have went so many different ways, but it didn't. So at the same time, we can say want in one hand and crap in the other for that. It's the perfect slogan. It takes more. They got it up front of Ford Field now. Yes, they do. Right on the front window, the window coverings that they put up over that atrium as you walk in the main gate. I knew the Eagles were toast last year when Patricia took over the defense. Hell, we all did. Remember, Vikings were riding high last year. Then the QB injury meltdown. Oh yeah, we've all seen it. We've all had those type of problems before. So at the same time, you know, I don't talk shit about that. What's up, everyone? Hope your day gets better, Von Doom. Amen. Crappy days suck. Crappy days suck a lot. And we got a game tomorrow. Steelers versus Lions at Ford Field. I think Daniel Jones has a cocaine addiction. Oh my god. Oh, that's great. I haven't seen anything like that, but oh man. What's the average salary for a guy on the practice squad all season? I believe it's 750K a year minimum because that's the smallest salary I've seen on any NFL roster. But because of salaries going up every year, that's going to change. Dan Campbell will keep this team focused and grit like himself. 100%. Never doubting that for a minute. So, who has impressed you in camp on offense? For me, it's we know Vaki's making the team. That goes without question. I think we're carrying 4 running backs. I think Reynolds is in there too. But who do you think made it out of the backup offensive lineman guys? Because we know I think Isaiah Williams is a lock to make the wide receiver 5 or 6 on this roster. That's just me. I just think he's done enough that he earned it. Does anybody feel any differently? I think Duke Clemens has made a case. Oh yeah, you have to live up to your hype, 100%. And I'm not saying they won't or they will. Let's go. Detroit Lions won Pride NFC North Division Championship title. All grit. Absolutely, Dwayne Queen. Good afternoon to you, sir. I'm glad we're going to get to see Hendon Hooker start. I think it's good to see him go against the better. Yep, I think Williams should make it. I think Duke Clemens as the backup center. I'm torn between Sorsdal and Manu. Happy birthday to you tomorrow. Yeah, and it's game day. What a great day to have for a birthday. Happy birthday to you. 100%, sir. I think Manu made it. I do too. Um, he really showed out the last game, and I think he's going to be out there with the twos. I know everybody says we need a tall receiver, but at the same time, we haven't had a tall receiver on our roster yet the last 2 seasons. And guess what? We have been we have been a top 5 offense without a tall receiver on the roster. But if they decided to go the tall receiver route, would I be surprised if it was someone the only guy out there that I think would work, and that's if he hits the practice squad or the waiver wire, would be Hakeem Butler. I like that kid. I did a lot more takes in him. Well, I think right now, Dan Campbell has said Khalif Raymond is all but the wide receiver 3 on this roster. But wide receiver 3 is really the fourth target if you think about it. And I'll explain that. Number 1 is Amon Ra, 2 is Laporta, 3 is Jamison Williams. And then it might, wide receiver 3 might not even be the fourth option because we're forgetting about somebody. We're forgetting about Jameer Gibbs. And they already said they plan on him taking some snaps at slot receiver at times. We got so many guys that are so versatile right now. And Vaki's also an underrated receiver out of the backfield. I mean, shit, what did he have? 4 catches for 60 yards last week? He was pretty darn good. 15 yards per catch. Yeah, Josh Reynolds was almost tall, but DPJ is the same height that Josh Reynolds is. He's 6'2" and a half or 6'3". Yes, depth is a good problem to have. I'm glad we got it. I'm glad we have who we have on the roster 100%. But at the same time, there always could be room for improvement. And that's all we're talking about. Who's going to make the roster better? Okay, on the defensive side, especially in the D end room, I think our cornerbacks are at a lock at 5, and I think it's Carlton Davis, Terry Ann Arnold, Amik Robertson, Ennis Rakestraw, and Khalil Dorsey because of his special teams. Ooh, that's awesome. I don't think Vildor makes it. If he does, it's cornerback 6. I think we're going to carry 5 safeties, but I don't know if I know I think it's actually it's 4 safeties. I think we're going to be deeper on the defensive line. I think we're carrying 5 defensive tackles, 2 of which they say can play defensive end, but when he's at defensive end, he hasn't made a difference yet, and that's Wingo. But you got Josh Pascal on the outside. I think he makes it on the roster. I also think, let's see, I think Uku makes it. I think Betts make it. I think Houston's the one on the odd man out in the defensive end room. But defensive tackles, Aleem, DJ Reader being back at practice is good. I have a 20 that says Sims too. It's a stats jersey. I love it. It's also got the 1980 Rookie of the Year inscription on it. My Billy Sims. He was my first 20. He'll always be my first favorite Lion. No offense to Barry. But do you disagree with what I said about our defensive ends that make it? The defensive tackles, like I said, Aleem Reader, Onwuzurike, Martin Wingo, and I think it's going to be Davenport, Hutchinson, Ukwu, Betts, and Pascal is our defensive ends. Yeah, I'm interested in who makes it through the waiver wires. Now, remember, players over uh, 4 years in the league, they don't just get waived; they get cut, and they have to be signed back to the practice squad. So, like, I don't have time. I want that Calvin Johnson black jersey, then a Herman Moore jersey. Yeah, those are cool. Those are good ones to get. My only old jerseys I have is Sims, and I have a actual authentic Joey Harrington jersey, but I bought it for 50 cents at a Goodwill. I like Joey Harrington. I think Betts makes it because he's done more in the preseason than Houston has, and he's did it in game on third down when the lights are brightest. That's just my personal opinion. Both Ukwu and Betts have made their sacks on in third down situations. Pascal had the strip sack, which may have saved his job technically because I had him on the bubble. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I had Pascal on the bubble because he hadn't been showing anything in practice. Yeah, he had been struggling as of late. I have Pascal making the 53 now. I have Houston uh, on the way out because he had that big strip sack at the end of the Chiefs game, and that was a third down situation that set us up so we could go down for the field goal. That was a bigger play than a lot of people realize. Yep, I got Gilmore not making it. I got Vildor not making it. They'll be going to the practice squad. They both have less than 4 years, so they'll be waived. And the waiver wires are the ones that concern me because they're young. They're the ones that people like to poach. Um, Tom Kennedy, we've seen it 6 years now. He has made it back to the roster every single year. I have no doubt he'll make it through waiver and cuts and everything again. Hutch, Betts, Davenport, Ukwu, and Pascal. Yep, that's what I have. I think that's pretty much going to be our roster, guys. As far as the defensive line is concerned, linebackers, it's the same guys. We know what Rodrigo does. They love Rodrigo. I don't think he's going anywhere. It is time for me to do a station break and do my intro.
Here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Campbell.
God, I love watching those plays. Those are some great plays last year. The station break mean bathroom break 9 times out of 10. That's how the only way I get it done. But I didn't play that intro in the beginning, the intro for the show. I did one intro so we could get into talking a little football. Because that's what I'm more about. It's talking football. Because the reason why I think Betts makes the team, height and weight ratio, he's basically the same exact build as Hutch. He could be that guy that comes on when Hutch goes off the field, that 9% of the plays on in the game. Hutch plays 90 to 91% every year. So by that measure, I just I just think that's where he belongs. He'll be that doggy type of guy that gets us what we need. Broski Bear in the chat. Good to see you, sir. It's always good to see rival fans pop in. But yeah, that's pretty much my roster. Um, if Hooker has a good game, play him with the Jeff and Booner have a pizza bet on if Betts makes the team. I got him making the team right now. I said whoever bet on Betts is getting their pizza. I told him that when I saw him at the Pro Sports Zone because I met Jeff and Booner. Branch, K. Joseph, Iffy, and Brendan Joseph at safety. That's the four safeties I see making the roster. If Reeder and Davenport stay healthy for a majority of the season, I could see Hutch reaping the rewards and getting 50. I think it's going to be around 14 sacks is what he gets, whether they're healthy or not, because we have more depth at the position. I just think that interior D line got helped a lot with the additions we have, plus the growth that we had with Broderick Martin. I know some people don't agree with me on that one. Some people disagree with me on a lot of things, and that's okay. That's their opinion. I'm basing it off of what I seen when the lights are on. Thank you, broski. You knew I meant it as a joke. You know I don't say anything malicious and malicious in intent. I was on another chat this morning and I was called a bigot because of my Caleb comment. I've never been a bigot. I do it for laughs. I do everything to be funny. Some people are way too snowflakey these days. Get bent out of shape over somebody's opinion. I know you're not referring to Brent DeWitt. I thank you, broski. Hell, I thought he should have known. You and I had the same opinion about Caleb as you, so it's USC what it is. I like that. That was funny. I know people can't take jokes anymore. I I don't get it. I don't know why everybody gets so salty. Brenda says, "LOL." I figured that when I had no idea what you were talking about. I got in trouble for saying the LGBTQB1 stuff about Caleb. And Broski, I got Hutch, McNeil, Reeder, and Davenport as our front four. Yes. I am an equal opportunity hater and I hate Aaron Rodgers. I know. Isn't this a great one, guys? This was my Fuck Your Feelings Friday one. Orlando, I like man titties like Caleb, so I'm a fan. I know life is too short not to laugh. I don't get it. Why can't people just let people have a good time? 'Cause that's what it's about. Yes, it is that time. It is time for FTP. Put it in the chat. It means fuck the Packers. 100%. Let's see those FTPs come rolling. And just for Broski Bear, because he's here. Because I know he's going to put an FTL in there. It's fuck the Bears. FDB. I didn't forget the Bears. I never forget the Bears, brother. How could I forget the Bears? And yes, I'm hoping to get the FSKOL done soon because that's going to be great. Or should I just do the FEA one? Put all three logos on the same one, and say fuck them all. I'll let the viewers decide. Life is a highway. Well, guys, you guys know how I roll. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. But this is for the Lions fans, and so that all the Bears fans can cringe. Forward down the field, a charging team that will not yield. And when the blue and silver wave, stand and cheer the brave. Rock, 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 go hard, win this game. With honor you will keep your fame. Down the field and gain a Lions victory. Go Lions! One pride. It takes more. And yes, we are doing the Lions Fan Cave show chat at 9 p.m. tonight. I want to take this minute right here before I sign off to say, please tune in. Next week we're going to be doing some money raising for a fellow Lions fan. He's young. He's got a newborn baby. He's in the process of going through renal failure, and he needs to have a transplant because both his kidneys are failing. And I want to raise some money for him. So if you guys can all be here, it would be amazing. Next Friday is when I'm doing it. Cameron Luke is his name. Have a great weekend, everyone. Enjoy the football. Prayers up for Douglas Coleman. He is moving his extremities, but he did suffer a neck injury on that tackle last night. So that's the update for Bears. Douglas Coleman the second made a big tackle. I believe it was on number 14. I believe that's Mecole Hardman. And when he made the tackle, he injured his neck and laid motionless on the ground for a while. Had to be taken by ambulance. He is still hospitalized. He needs your prayer.